So let me start by telling you a little bit about who I am and what I do. Currently, I serve as a special assistant and the chief legal advisor for San Diego County Sheriff Bill Gore. I have been the chief legal advisor for the Sheriff's Department for the last almost 9 years. I've been there over 9 years, but it was about 4 months after I got there that I promoted to the chief legal advisor. In that capacity, I provide advice and guidance on a daily basis to the sheriff and to the members of his command staff in the department. We're considered the 4th largest sheriff's department in terms of personnel in the country, so it's quite a responsibility to head up the sheriff's legal affairs unit. They're not coming to get me, by the way. I've done other things related to law enforcement during my career with the Sheriff's Department. I do stuff on a statewide basis. I'm the former state chair for the California Peace Officers Association, Police Legal Advisors Association, long title. Essentially what it does, what I did for the 3 years that I was there in a volunteer capacity is to bring together police legal advisors throughout the state and work and network and try to make sure everybody's informed about legal issues affecting law enforcement all up and down the state of California. So I did that as a volunteer with the Sheriff's Department. I also currently volunteer as a temporary judge with the Superior Court. I get to do some of that Judge Judy type of stuff in small claims and hear cases that are very important to the litigants that come before the court, and that's another way that I volunteer my time, aside from coaching Little League for my son, and I also have a 6-year-old daughter as well, so I coach soccer and do those types of things. Back on the professional side of it, I have a varied background. I have been an adjunct professor in addition to my law work part-time. I've taught at a community college. I've taught classes in constitutional law, corrections law, and criminal law. So I have a background in teaching and those types of things. I've also been asked to speak and taught at the National Sheriff's Association annual conference. I've also been asked to teach classes on everything from equal employment opportunity, sexual harassment, labor relations, those types of things as well. And I want to move on to a couple of areas and tell you why I'm running for Chula Vista City Attorney. The first thing I want to say is I'm impressed with what Chula Vista has done in terms of being on the forefront of democracy. You have participated in some very great things, and I want to continue that and be a part of it. In 2006, I think it was, when the U.S. Supreme Court said, you know what, the government can take your American dream and give it to business, and you guys got together and said, wait a minute, we're not going to let that happen, we're going to pass a proposition dealing with eminent domain. Then you guys said, you know what, we want some accountability from our city attorney. And you got together and you switched from an appointed to an elected city attorney. Well, I think that I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of that democratic system. I want to be able to participate with people of Chula Vista in being a good city attorney. And I think I'm the most qualified, independent person to be able to do that. I want to talk about also the second reason, as I said, that I do believe I'm the most qualified person to be city attorney. I have a vast degree of experience in terms of providing services. The Sheriff's Department is essentially like a small city. We have, if you think of something right now, you're going, wow, we have redevelopment and land use issues. How in the world could the Sheriff's Department have land use issues? Well, if anyone's heard of a small city called Santee, you know that we might be building or trying to build a jail out there, and we have issues with EIRs and trying to build a jail. Well, we have contract issues at the Sheriff's Department. We buy stuff all the time, okay? We enter into memorandums of agreement with people, okay? You have personnel. You have 1,200 city employees. We have, conservatively, somewhere between 35 and 4,000, depending on the economy, Sheriff's Department employees. Just the Sheriff's Department alone. We have budgets, we have legal issues that you couldn't imagine. But we have the same types of issues dealing with risk, liability, ordinances, statutes. All of those things that you have within the city of Chula Vista, we have within the Sheriff's Department. Now, I'm not going to stand up here and tell you I deal with every single thing every single day. But I bounce from thing to thing and provide the best legal advice I can to the sheriff. It's important that he gets, and the department gets, critical advice when they need it, so that they don't make the kind of mistakes that cost the sheriff's department money, cost the county money, and take that money away from other things that we do as a sheriff's department and other county agencies that need that money. It's the same thing with the city attorney's office. It's important to have a knowledgeable city attorney who's able to recognize risk and deal with civil litigation and take those areas and prevent harm to the taxpayers and harm to the citizens of Chula Vista by bringing experience, and that's what I bring to that position. Now, I say I've got a few minutes, and I know I'm very long-winded, but I want to take a minute to tell you about a couple of values that I want to base my campaign on. The first one, honesty. I believe, as I said before, I believe wholeheartedly that you as citizens are entitled to honesty. We as public servants should have that ingrained in us. We don't always do it, but it should be one of our core values. And so if I'm your elected city attorney, that will be my first core value. My second one is independence. In the proposition that you all passed, you said that the city attorney should be sufficiently independent from the council and city officials. I recognize that this is a nonpartisan race. I've not asked for an endorsement from any major political party, or let me strike major, from any political party. I'm not endorsed by the city council. I'm not endorsed by the mayor. I believe that I'm independent. And because of that, I believe that I can provide fair, unbiased legal advice, which is what you're all entitled to. The city attorney's opinion, frankly, shouldn't matter. It's the opinion of that he has in interpreting the law. It shouldn't be based upon who he knows, who he likes, or who's putting pressure on him. You guys did a good thing by saying, okay, we're going to free you up to give good, honest advice without the fear of being fired by the city manager or the city council. Now, I'm saying don't quit. Don't quit now and put somebody in there who is attached and not sufficiently independent, because then you're right back where you started from. It's a very important position, and it's important to have somebody who clearly is independent. And that's why I come to this position saying I can be that person. As I said, I think I can be the truly independent person. The other thing that I wanted the third pillar that I wanted to emphasize is open government. As I've been going around talking to citizens of Chula Vista, they say, you know what, all we get from the city attorney's office is an answer. We don't know why they give the answer they did. When we try to get information from them, they don't give it to us. Okay, so my plan is this. First of all, I believe in open government. It's part of, essentially in terms of the California Constitution, that any statute, law, or ordinance that helps the citizens get access to information concerning the public's business should be interpreted broadly. Anything that restricts your right of access to the public's information about the public's business should be interpreted narrowly. It's actually in the California Constitution. So I make that pledge to do that if I'm elected as your city attorney. Not only that, when I make an opinion, now obviously there are some legal opinions that I have to give that can't be made public because of litigation and those types of things, but general legal opinions, when I make those, I will post them. It's not a novel concept. The Attorney General's office does it as well. You can go to their website and pull up opinions by the Attorney General's office. I'll do the same thing. I hope that I'm right most, if not all of the time, but occasionally I may not be. And when I'm not, by publishing my opinions, it gives all of you an opportunity to look at it and tell me if there's something wrong. And I'm not so blind to say, you know what, I'm never wrong, so I'm never going to listen to anyone. I will take the public opinion, I will take the advice that people have, and I will look at it and fashion that into a decision based upon the law. Okay? Lastly, I know I'm running out of time, and I wanted to just say, you know, aside from public opinions, there are some other things that I think need to be done. I think you need to survey the citizens. I think you need to make sure that all of the clients, the city, everybody has an input into what it is the city attorney's office does and how they do it. In short, Too late for that, I know. In short, what I think I want everybody to understand is that I recognize that you are the most important client for the City Attorney's Office, and I hope to have your vote on June 8th. Thank you very much. Thank you.